Hello everyone, welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle, and today I decided to record a video and do something a little differently than what I ordinarily do. So those of you who follow me regularly on my Facebook business page, Magical Me, you will have from time to time during my online readings and messages, you will have time from time to time caught a snippet of some of the light activations and light language, utilizing light code and sound and vocal toning for healing, for assistance in releasing, receiving activations and upgrades. It kind of sneaks in every now and then when I'm guided, and it usually does it at the spur of the moment. I'm not really given a whole lot of notice. Today, however, I have been being guided all day since the moment I woke up and pulled my own oracle card guidance for the day by Sanat Kumara, who I will talk a little bit about in a second. Just that I would today be, I was being guided to share light transmissions and activations for the ascension energies that are currently integrating with the planet as well as with us as a collective. So let me just start out by saying that today is 9/11/2018. That is broken down numerically because the number, or I should say the power of numbers, is incredibly essential to activations and awakening, because numbers, just like geometric shapes as well as codes, they actually act as some sort of codes and activations and awakenings, if I'm explaining this correctly. So numbers are very important. They're not just coincidence. In fact, nothing is coincidence. Everything is divinely synchronized. However, so today being 9/11, if you broke the year 2018 down, to me, intuitively, that would break down to be 9/11/11. So the number 11 is considered a master number in numerology, and for the reasoning that it is a number that is multiplied by itself, enhancing its sacredness, its power. So the number 11, to me, intuitively, resonates with doors opening, like portal gateway opening, if you will. To me, it resonates with awakenings and illumination and positive change and ascension. So for whatever that means for any of you, I'm not a numerologist, but this is just how numbers communicate with me. And so whatever that resonates with you at the time when you see the 11s, it usually resonates with some sort of opening and expansion or awakening and illumination, positive forward movement, and doorways opening with new opportunities. So that's exactly what's happening here today. We've been experiencing on planet Earth quite a bit of upgrades and activation days, with these major numbers. It's kind of like we're in fast forward here, and I'm not going to get real into it. It'd be way off topic here, but this really all began way back in 2012 when the ascension of the Earth and the planet, the collective, literally began to start back then. So this past year or two, people have become more and more aware of those energy gateways, the power of the influence of the moon and the eclipses and whatnot having a really profound effect on all of us, and noticing that the shift in frequency that we have been really kind of doing this really fast forward movement in expanding our consciousness, I should say. And so that involves a whole lot of energetic as well as physical release, if you will. So today I've been guided to, because of this gateway, sit down and share a light transmission with all of you. So if you are sitting here not wondering, you're interested and you want to participate and hear more about this, and you want to actually receive what is going to be coming through today, because let me tell you that it will be through or in the form of healing. It will be in the form of assisting you with releasing what might be blocking you from being able to assimilate to these new frequencies that are coming through. And it is assisting in expanding consciousness. And it is assisting through divine love at the same time. So if you are open to receiving this, all you have to do is set that intention by saying, I am open to receiving the, it's my dog Anubis, I'm sorry, you might hear him in the background. All you have to do is say, you know, I am open to receiving any light activation, healing, or even divine love that Jamie will be transmitting today. If you are just interested in watching but do not want to receive, as you might not, this might be unfamiliar to you, this might be new to you, and that's completely okay. All you have to do is say, I'm not open to receive at this time, okay? So what I'm going to be doing is talking a little bit about how I came to even be sharing any of this information with all of you. I didn't just wake up one day and suddenly be able to speak light language and have this awareness that I'm going to be talking about. It was a process, and so I think that it's important for, you know, for me to be sending out any type of activations and healing, that you understand how I got here. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and then afterwards I will do the transmission with all of you. But before I really do get started, I want to tell you that if you have a set of headphones handy, you may want to grab hold of them and use them to listen to this, or even just to listen to the actual light transmission when it comes through. The reason being is because through the you know, the distance between my speaker and my voice, sometimes the vocal toning that comes through gets lost in translation. And I've heard that people have said when they listen on headphones, they have a much better experience. And they actually pick up sounds and other voices over top of mine that you would not hear just listening without the headphones. So maybe if you have a set of headphones, if you want to put this video on pause, go ahead and do that. Grab a pair, plug them in, and then listen to it that way. And, you know, of course, I'm always open to feedback. So if you have something that you noticed or picked up during any of the transmissions, please feel free to share, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'll get into the light language, explaining what that is for anybody who doesn't know what that is. Just bear with me. I want to really start at kind of where this thing started, all right? So I began my spiritual journey. I'm not going to say how old I am now. What the heck? I am 37 years old. I started really going into really looking deep within myself and exploring different more pagan-like beliefs way back in my early 20s. But it wasn't until I was about 33 that I started to have what I would refer to as a spiritual awakening. And it's interesting because 33 is a master number, and it is the master teacher number is what we refer to it as. And I would say the spiritual awakening, the beginning of the awakening, because I feel like on this process we have many, many awakenings. We don't just have one major awakening. I feel like it's the layers and layers and layers of unraveling and awakening. So a few years back, even after that, I ended up taking a trip with a friend at the time to Mount Shasta in California. And up until that point, I really had only worked with my own higher self, and a little bit more of the gods and goddess type energies. I hadn't really worked with a lot of like galactic energy. I was very new to working with ascended masters, but I had been working with them a little bit. And when I say this, I mean through meditative work, through intuition, through dreams. And so prior to going to Mount Shasta, an ascended master started making themselves known to me. And like, again, I said this through meditation, through dreams, through synchronicity of people communicating the message, the person, you know, the master's name to me, popping up in my news feed maybe. It's kind of like a treasure hunt, kind of led me down this search. And that's really how spirit communicates with us. They kind of lead us on this little journey to find the answers ourselves. And so through synchronicity the Ascended Master known as Sanat Kumara began communicating with me. We're showing up, I should say, not yet communicating, but showing up. So right before I got to California to go to Mount Shasta, that had happened. And then when I got to California, I went to Mount Shasta. And it happened to be the winter time, so I wasn't even able to get all the way up on the mountain because of the amount of snow that was there, which is, you know, very, I guess that happens all the time, but I did not realize that going. But before I start, I'm getting guided. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to try to tip this up. This is actually Sanat Kumara. It's very hard to see with the light. This is a picture of him behind me. And so I actually picked that picture up in Mount Shasta. So Sanat Kumara is known as the hierarchy of light, or the Ancient of Days. So the hierarchy of light is like a council or board of all the Ascended Masters that I'm sure you've heard of. Kuan Yin, Yeshua, Virgin Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Paul the Venetian, you name it, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, there are so many of them. But it is said that Sanat Kumara is known as the Ancient of Days, and he is the Ascended Master, and he's kind of like the top of the ladder there. Whether that's legitimate or not, I really cannot tell you. I just know, you know, during my research on him, what I've came across. But connecting with him, he does only ever come in. He doesn't work with me the way that most Ascended Masters do, where they work with you through, you know, a challenge in your life or a point in your life to help you overcome, and then you kind of move on after you've learned the lesson and upgrade. So Sanat Kumara comes in during certain pivotal points in my life, and I've noticed this for other people too, where I am receiving an energy or consciousness upgrade and expansion. So he comes in for, it's like he comes in, does his job, and then goes away again, and comes back like he did today, to give us that boost forward again. So he is supposedly from the planet Venus, essentially, and is supposed to be the divine complement or twin flame of Lady Venus. And Lady Venus also is an energy that is very much connected to me. I do work a lot with Lady Venus, especially during my light transmissions. But so they are said to be the ones bringing forth or facilitating the new golden era or golden age of divine love coming into the planet. But they're not the only ones. All the Ascended Masters are doing this as well. But they are kind of like, the way that I see it anyway, kind of like the ringleaders, if you will. But there are many beings involved in this, you know, unicorns, dragon energy, Ascended Masters, galactic beings, light beings. My own light family will be working with me through this transmission today too. So when I got to Mount Shasta, I believe it was the first night there, I could not get up on to see the vortex, or to feel the vortex. And so I had to, you know, we just kind of, me and the friend that I'd gone with at the time, kind of just stayed in our hotel room that literally was at the base of the mountain, and you could see the mountain from our window in our bedroom. So I had been guided to create, you know, kind of like a sacred space within the room that night. And not really understanding too much of why at the time, my friend and I, we created the sacred space. And then it wasn't long after we did that we sat down trying to connect intuitively, just to, you know, with our higher selves and meditating, that we began to receive a connection with energies, and those connections revealed themselves as Sanat Kumara and Lady Venus. Long story short, I received a powerful attunement and activation that night. That would be the beginning of the transformation of my life, the beginning of my journey in being a healer, bringer of divine love. And I do work with the earth grid, as well as the light grids in the planet. and within people as well, and doing working on assisting healing with people. So it was the beginning of that. So I did receive a powerful activation, and to the point that I literally felt my energy kind of being like, it almost felt like robotic, how my energy was kind of like being shifted, and kind of like realigned, or I want to even use the word like recalibrated. And so I received guidance through this transmission that came through, and this attunement, and even through my dreams, that I was to work with the ascension of the planet in many different ways, and with the divine love, and it kind of spiraled a journey of learning for me and going within. So since then, I have developed my own healing. I am a certified Reiki master teacher, but after that I began to receive divine guidance from my own family of light, and my higher self, to expand on that. And it has enabled me to work with people's light bodies, to work with their biofield, almost like on a quantum level. So it's, the same way that working with the ascension energies for the earth, working with the ascension energies for people as well, because we really are a mirror of the earth and the earth's grid. Our bodies also have our own light grids, if you will. So not going into too much detail, I do work with that, and it kind of started that whole journey, and I've been growing and expanding and working. And about a year and a half to 2 years ago was the first time I ever heard light language. I don't remember 100% where it came from at that time, who I was listening to, but I just thought that I was doing a guided meditation, and throughout the guided meditation, all of a sudden, this light language came through. And I'm not gonna lie, initially I was startled. And, of course, wanting to make sure I'm only receiving for the highest and greatest good, I immediately started calling on protection, and shielding myself. And then this calmness and this peace just came over me. And as I released the fear, I began to experience a familiarity that I just couldn't put my finger on. I didn't quite understand what was being said in the language, but something resonated within my soul, and I could feel the powerful, intense energy all around me, filling my own auric field and my own physical body even. And so it was powerful. And after that, it was like I was very curious, and I kept getting led to more people who communicated light language. And I would listen when guided to, and there were some people's whose I just did not resonate with, and then there was some that I did. So I think it's to each its own, depending on maybe whose lineage, light lineage, or light family, and their own codes that they hold, who we resonate with. And I may hold codes, and my lineage may resonate with yours, and it may not, and that's quite all right. And so what began to happen was an activation of my own ability to even perceive light code and light language. And then I began to, in my own privacy, it started happening. Like, I just started communicating this language, and sometimes it takes on different tones and different dialects, and it's not translated like word for word. It's almost like a divine understanding of what is coming through, like a summary, if that makes sense. And so I have asked where this language of mine comes from, and I was told that it is unique to myself, though it is influenced heavily by many of my different lifetimes, or different timelines that I have lived on, in those different lineage. So sometimes it'll sound like it has a heavy Egyptian influence. Sometimes it will sound like it has more heavy of a native influence. Sometimes it is coming from my lineage of Sirius or Arcturus, or what have you. So it's it's not just one thing, if that makes sense, but the most that comes through, that I resonate the most with as well, is divine cosmic love and universal love. And so that is in itself a language. Okay, so that comes through, and it is a transmission of the heart. So light language assists with many things. It assists because, let me just explain what light language is. It is the sound or the language of codes and sacred geometry. This code and sacred shapes are the sound of healing in the form of, whether it may be on a physical, whether it may be on an emotional, whether it may be on a mental level, whether it may be on your light body level. It does assist, and we have multiple layers. I believe, some say there are about 7 layers, but then, so there's layers within layers, and again, that's kind of a long explanation. But it does work with the many layers of our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body, and our light body. All to assist in clearing out and releasing any blocks that prevent your own body from healing itself. Because our own bodies are divine, every single one of us. Our body has the ability to heal itself. So it is really essentially releasing programmed blocks and beliefs, fears, emotional blocks, whatever it is that may be preventing your own body's ability to heal. So that it assists with that, but also light language assists with your own activations, your own integration of light. And the way that I see it sometimes when I'm working on clients too is I see like a weaving of light, like we have this web and grid of light, strands of light within our biofield, and it is literally weaving, it's like weaving the threads of light to reconnect and also to recalibrate to these new frequencies that are coming in, again, to connect you to even your own lineages, to activate your own soul's language, to assist you with coming into alignment with your own soul purpose. It does many, many things. And so I hope I explained that correctly. Now, vocal toning is also very similar to light language, though it just comes in the form of sound like chanting almost. So, like we're all very familiar with the Om and that chant. That in itself is vocal toning, and it actually is the sound of light code and sacred geometry coming through. We just don't realize that. But sound is the most powerful form of healing that there is. So the vocal toning comes through in different, how do I want to say it? Octaves, maybe different vowels, different sounds that come out to realign and recalibrate. And it works with our chakra system, again, with our energetic bodies. So it's very powerful healing. And for those who have an open mind, you are those that are blessed, because like I said, when I essentially heard all of this before I began doing all of this, I probably would have thought it sounded crazy, and I definitely would have been a little taken back. I definitely was a little taken back. Thankfully, I was at a different place in my own spiritual journey when I did hear it, so it made it a little less scary for me. But again, like I said, listen to your own intuition. If this is something that you're guided to receive, then by all means do so. If you are not, there may be some reasoning for that at this time, and that's okay. Okay. So what I'm going to be assisting with today, what I'm guided to is, one, I'm going to be calling in my own family of light. My family of light, I work with various energies because my own soul, from what I'm told, is incredibly ancient, and I have worked in ancient Lemuria, ancient Avalon, ancient Egypt. So I have a large family of light coming through to assist my own highest self. I call in to assist. And then also I call forth the energy of Sanat Kumara, who will be assisting in today's light activations, and his divine complement, Lady Venus. And make sure I'm not leaving, the Holy Spirit. Of course, the Holy Spirit is a big part in the work that I do. So I call forth the fact that I am a divine instrument of light and pure channel for only that in which serves our highest and greatest good as a collective to flow through. So rest assured that I do not allow anything to flow through me that is not serving of the highest good and coming with the divine unconditional love of the cosmic heart as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into the transmission that again will be today. As if you watched my Moon Day reading on my Facebook page the other day, or yesterday actually it was, we talked a little bit about how the Virgo new moon on 999, being at Trinity Gateway Day, you know, that moon coming forward is going to bring up a lot, kicking up some stuff that can't go forward with us. So it could be in the form of fears, illusions, patterns that you continuously find yourself in that aren't serving your highest and greatest good. So this is going to help with, one, helping us to release the challenges that are preventing us and the blocks that are preventing us from assimilating to the higher frequencies. It's also going to assist in the illumination of the Christ consciousness, or the golden consciousness, the golden age that is coming in, which is the ascension energies that are coming into the planet at this time. And again, this is only for the highest and greatest good, to help us rise in frequency by releasing that in which does not serve us anymore. Okay, so all you have to do is get comfortable, grab those headphones if you have them, and just relax. I'm going to walk you through everything and just be open to receive. I am going to start us out, however, with a little bit of sound from one of my Tibetan singing bowls. This one is actually said to be aligned with the crown chakra. So when frequency comes through, it is being transmitted through my heart. But the way that you receive this is it's coming through your higher layers and your higher chakras. So what I'm going to use this singing bowl this time for is to just help us to open up those layers. Usually when I'm working on a client, when the first thing that I'm guided to do is start with their higher layers so that I can start accessing, because really essentially everything that comes to us in the physical, it first has to come to us on the etheric layers and on the spiritual, if that makes sense to you all. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be using to help us kind of break up any stagnant energy that would block you from receiving that flow of energy coming in. You can feel my hands already starting to shake, so I can tell the energy is ready here. So let's take a deep breath in when you hear the sound, and just release, nice and relaxed. You can always call in your own personal team of light, your higher selves, and ask to be shielded from anything that doesn't serve your highest and greatest good. But also ask them to assist in facilitating the process today of these light transmission. Again, breaths in when you hear the sound, and breathe out. And as you release that breath, you can anchor your energy by growing roots out of the base of your spine, sending them deep down into the earth beneath you. continue to relax as we prepare for vocal toning to come through. Relax and take a deep breath in. As we prepare to receive the light language, ascension energies. Irot amakiat iramet inak, ves iram vet ira, yat ok at iramat iem. Birot ukiat eramat iran, nyaniat ur, vet iro ve akiat irat. Mirat unakiat iram ayat ara, it akiarat, vesh ik arat anakiar, mut at iranat ironakiaran, birat uk yarat iem. Vesh irnat urum, vak at irat ayat unak, bi ak et iranatya, mut ayanira, vet a. Mik et iranat yoro, ve irnakiet eram. Yid ara, yak et iranat yeram. Vit ake mit iro, vak yet vesh ik at iranat yer. Viranakiat irmat irm, ver irnak iet. Irat ok ariat anet irm, iet ak et irmat irm. Vish ak et era, yonak yaram, verat ian. Bir nukiat erat. Viranakiat irmat ir, vish ik aranat. And we're having some heart chakra expansion and some third eye expansion at the same time. It's aligning third eye and heart. So breathe in, nice and relaxed. Feel yourself beginning to release any blockage, any resistance that doesn't serve your soul's highest and greatest good. As the toning and the language comes through, envision beautiful shoots of divine white coming in through your crown chakra, moving down, anchoring into your heart, and then push them out, down into the earth beneath you, out of your root chakra, through your earth star. And this is going to anchor you above and below. And prepare to receive more light language. And remember to breathe nice and easy. Ira natioro natiem, mir natioro anatieram, vet irat uyaranara, virarunakiador nat irmet, virnakiat irniak mit ek eram ak ennet, vruduniat eram, vish ik enat, vrudunatiat emat iro, miaranat yaram, vish enakiat I umat, vrot ukjaramet iem, vrot nakiat, yernaku urum, vech ish anakiet. Ut eret anakieran, get it uramet iranet, yeret ak et irnat yes, ish at anat urum, vik ak et net ik, vush anat eram, veret enek yeram, birnakior ayat eramat ir, virnat yar ariot onat eram, virnat ik, vush anat eram, bit irat yek. Sending you divine love and light. Allow the energy and the pulsing and the light to just pulse and move and circulate through your biofield and auric field as the energy will continue to assimilate and integrate. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the here and now. Okay, everybody. I hope that you all received exactly what it was that you needed to receive for your highest and greatest good to assist you in moving forward on your path in divine love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And I would be very open to receiving any feedback or comments. Until next time, bye-bye.